last video of this unit, I ended up talking about sister chromatids and chromosomes. So remember that a chromosome is this condensed version of DNA that is formed right before a cell is about to divide. And that chromosome has to copy itself before a cell divides to form these sister chromatids. And we also got into a homologous pair of chromosomes. A homologous pair is a pair that contains one chromosome from mom and one chromosome from dad, or a male and a female chromosome within that pair. Okay, so now we get to this next section of haploid versus diploid. So not every cell in our body has the same amount of chromosomes. Most of our cells are going to be called somatic cells, and you can see that term right there, somatic cells. Somatic cells are diploid cells. A diploid cell is a cell that contains two sets of chromosomes or a bunch of homologous pairs, right? So I have, in my diploid cells, I have 46 chromosomes. 23 of those chromosomes are from mom, 23 of those chromosomes are from dad. So I have 23 homologous pairs of chromosomes. So those would be the cells in my body that are just normal body cells: skin cells, muscle cells, liver cells, kidney cells, heart cells. I could go on and on and on. Those are all called diploid cells. And diploid cells form from a process called mitosis. A haploid cell, think of hap or half. A haploid cell contains half the amount of chromosomes or one set of chromosomes. So if a diploid cell in a human has 46, a haploid cell in a human has 23. And again, these numbers will change for different organisms, and you'll do some sheets based on that. All right. Now, there's only one form of haploid cells, and those are called sex cells. So in a male, the sex cell or gamete, another name for a sex cell is a gamete, is the sperm cell. So sperm cells contain 23 chromosomes. In females, it's an egg cell. So these are the things that are going to be used for reproduction or fertilization, and these are produced through meiosis. You may hear it called meiosis. Meiosis produces sperm and egg cells, which allows for sexual reproduction. Now, we're able to see these things using something called a karyotype, and I'm going to describe what that is here in a minute, but this is a karyotype. So you see on this side, I have a karyotype of a diploid cell. Diploid, the abbreviation for it is 2N. So you see there's 23 pairs of chromosomes. Over here in haploid cells, there's just 23 individual chromosomes. So this would be a sperm or an egg cell. This would be a regular body cell or a somatic cell. So what the heck is a karyotype? A karyotype is a micrograph or a picture of the homologous pairs of chromosomes, and then they kind of take them out and arrange them by size, and we're able to see what these different chromosomes look like and how they're paired up. Now, these things are pretty important. We can see different genetic diseases, we can see abnormalities, so on and so forth. But you can see they're photographed, and then they cut them and they paste them and they pair them up. So if I find chromosome 1 from mom, chromosome 1 from dad, and then I paste them down there, and then I lay them out, and I'm able to see what these things look like and how they're paired up. They can show mutations. So if there's too many or too few chromosomes, that is a genetic mutation. So that can be a bad thing. We're going to talk more about that later. But it shows the genome. The genome is the full set of genetic information that is within a person's DNA. So basically, it takes all their DNA and puts it on this sheet, and you're able to see it. There's this thing in the 1980s called the Human Genome Project, where these scientists were trying to basically map a person's DNA, and they laid it out, and it's billions and billions and billions and billions of genes and these things called nucleotides long. Within a karyotype, I have sex chromosomes and autosomes. Sex chromosomes determine the sex. So That is pair number 23 in humans. So if there's two, this is actually incorrect. I'm sorry. If there's an X and a Y chromosome, it's a male. If there's two X chromosomes, it is a female. All right. So, and then the autosomes are the remaining 22 pairs, and those carry all of our other traits. So here we go. This is a normal karyotype. You see, I have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So in this pair, this would be from mom, this would be from dad, so on and so forth. Down here, it's an X and a Y. So this is a male karyotype. This is somebody that has Down syndrome. All right, so there's 23 pairs. Notice down here, there's two X's, no Y, so this is a female, which is odd. And then notice there's three at this site. So this is another name for Down syndrome is called trisomy 21. All right, so since there's three at this, that is a genetic abnormality or a mutation. So all these other ones just have two or they're paired up. There's three right here. That's not supposed to be there. That's a genetic mutation. So we're going to do a lot of studies of these karyotypes as we go through this unit. But again, it comes back to chromosomes, which are DNA, and these chromosomes are paired up in homologous pairs with the corresponding chromosome from the opposite sex.